Happy holidays and welcome to Cinema Cheese. Today I wanted to do something a little fun. I figured instead of doing a Christmas movie review for the holiday, I just picked some of the titles that are in my physical collection that I really enjoy that are Christmassy. Not a complete list and in no particular order, just some movies that I love that are in my collection that are for the holiday. So let's jump right into this. We are going to start out with two classics from the late 80s. One is 1989's Christmas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo, Dolores Roberts, who was Grandma and Grandma's Boy. D'Angelo was in a great horror movie called The Sentinel, which is very good. If you haven't checked it out, highly recommend that one. It's also got Juliette Lewis and Johnny Galecki, who a lot of people probably know from either The Big Bang Theory or as David and Roseanne. And 1988's Scrooged. This is one of my all-time favorites. Definitely a favorite Bill Murray, favorite Christmas, favorite all around. It's also got Bobcat Goldthwait in it, which is super awesome. Always love seeing that guy. And for some reason, I only own both of those movies on stunning VHS. I don't really know why. I wish I had newer releases of both of them, but not yet. So I'm gonna jump around a little bit. I took notes and did all those fun things, but I picked way more than I actually plan on talking about. So, in the interest of sanity, we're going to jump around. I also picked a lower budget indie movie that the first time I saw it, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, it just wasn't my favorite. But I watched it again and I kind of understood it more, or the fact that they don't really explain a lot, they just kind of give you the story. But I appreciate that. This is 2016's Good Tidings from director Stuart Bradford. This movie is really great. It follows three psychopathic serial killers that get Santa costumes and dress up like Santa Clauses with these creepy masks on, and they go to a courthouse, and there's all these hobos that are squatting there for the holidays, and they lock everyone in and just start killing people. And to the best of my knowledge, it's completely at random. Doesn't really explain why, but that's completely okay. Just accept the movie for what it is and have fun with it. I thought it was a really good movie. Next we have a movie that I was really excited for. Again, another one that when it first came out, I didn't love it. But when I went into it the first time, I didn't exactly know what I was getting into, but I thought I was getting into something completely different than what you got. Because the trailer for this movie looked like a high-octane action, comedy, thriller type movie, and you get all of those things, but there's a lot more like slower parts in the movie, but it all works as a whole. This was definitely a movie that I grew to appreciate over time. Second viewing even, I really, really enjoyed it. This is 2020's Fat Man, starring Mel Gibson as Kris Kringle, or the Fat Man, and Walton Goggins as Skinny Man. He plays a hitman who's been hired to kill Santa because Santa gave a mobster son a lump of coal for Christmas because the kid was a little shit. And then the hitman doesn't realize that Fat Man's badass. Super fun movie. Highly recommend. So, where are we gonna go next? 2005, Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg, yes, the wrestler, as Santa Claus. Santa in this movie is actually evil, but he lost a curling game and had to be nice to the boys and girls for 1,000 years. And it's been 1,000 years. This movie is so much fun. Definitely a turn your brain off and just watch it type flick. You get Goldberg as Santa killing people, and two people that die in the opening scene. This is a spoiler, but it's old, plus it's the opening scene. Fran Drescher and Chris Kattan both get killed by Santa Claus in the opening scene, and it is hysterical. Love that shit. Alright, let's go to a gold standard. If there's such thing as a gold standard for a movie, this would definitely be it. This is 1974's Christmas classic from Bob Clark. Yeah, that Bob Clark, Black Christmas. This movie is phenomenal. It is a great all around. It's a great slasher type movie before slashers were really slashers. It's It's a great Christmas movie. It's suspenseful. It's got a great tone to it. It's really close to a perfect movie. I really enjoyed this movie, and if you haven't seen 1974's Black Christmas, highly recommend it. Go check that out. Alright, let's go to this indie movie that I absolutely adore. This is a Christmas movie, but it's a post-apocalyptic Christmas movie. It's got a really small cast. It's a lower budget movie. It's directed by Mike Lombardo. It is I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. This movie is heavy. It's really well acted. There's only a few people on the cast. Everybody does a really phenomenal job, especially the kid in this movie. So good for being a child actor. This movie makes you feel a certain way, and not comfortable and joyful isn't two of those feelings that you feel while watching that movie. If you want a movie that's got a lot of dread to it, definitely check out White Doomsday. Phenomenal. Great movie. Okay, here's another one that I was excited for, and then when it first came out, the first viewing I didn't love, but upon revisiting it and just taking it in for what it was, I grew to really enjoy this movie. It's directed by Dan Walker, and it came out in 2015, 2016. It is Sleigh Bells, starring Barry Bostwick as Santa, and he's fantastic. Well, he's always fantastic, let's be honest. And you get a really cool Krampus in this, and yeah, highly enjoyable. Sleigh Bells, another one, highly recommend. Alright, let's do a few more. Let's do another indie movie, Zombies, or Cadavers. Not zombies, cadavers. The janitor in this movie is awesome. And this was a 2011 movie that I just watched on a whim on a streaming service and had to buy it. It's A Cadaver Christmas. And it says zombies for the holidays right on the top, but in the movie, whenever somebody would say zombies, the janitor would be like, they're not zombies, they're cadavers. This is great. It's a lower budget movie. It's a really fun watch. They added this really cool grainy filter to the video to make it feel like it was recorded a long time ago, but as far as I know, it was filmed on digital, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know all of the details of the filmmaking of this movie, even though I love it and I recommend it, so you would think I would learn it, but I didn't. The back art, that's the janitor in the middle. He's hysterical. These are the awards that won up top. Typical affair for the back of the DVD case. I don't know why I felt the need to point all that bullshit out, but I did. 2011's Cadaver Christmas. Definitely check it out. Next one is technically a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve. And I just want to point out while I'm thinking about it, I do plan on doing reviews on a lot of these movies that I'm going to talk about, so stay tuned for that. This movie is super important to me. It's one of my favorite movies. It brought me into really appreciating the world of French horror, especially the new wave of French extremes. I don't think it was the first one I saw, because I believe I saw High Tension first, but this one I fell in love with, and I still love it to this day. It's not for everyone. It's brutal. It's nihilistic. It's a hard movie to watch. From two of my favorite directors, Julia Mori and Alexander Bustiello, 2007's Inside. Now, I say this is a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve, but it's not very festive or Christmassy. It's essentially about a woman named Beatrice Daly, who's in a lot of their movies, who is a fantastic actress. She's super menacing and believable. Breaks into Sarah's house, who is pregnant, about to give birth, and tries to extract the baby for her own personal gain via scissors. Will she succeed? Gotta watch the movie to find out. Don't watch the American one, though. I did. And I did, so you don't have to. But I mean, you can if you want to. And if you like it, then that's awesome, but I didn't like it at all. Okay, we're going to change directions a little bit and go from French extremes to Florida sleaze. We're going to be talking about Sean Donahue's The King of Sleaze. Sleaze-tastic masterpiece from 2016, Cannibal Claws. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sean Donahue or Gator Blade Films or The Sleaze Box or Bob Glazer. Bob Glazer's in a lot of Sean's films, and his movies are ultra sleazy in the best possible way. I really respect Sean and Bob and everybody down there in Florida that puts the movies out for Gator Blade. Keep up the great work. This movie is so much fun. And you only get to see Bob Glazer's mini-me in one scene, and I'm pretty sure it was a stunt mini-me, not Bob's actual member. But regardless, doesn't matter. Okay, let's do 3 lighthearted ones and then my 2 favorites. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put these 2 together. So we got from 2002, the classic, and I don't own a free standalone version of this movie, only a 3-pack with the first 2 movies. But, I mean, I still love it. Even though it's probably my least favorite of the Friday movies, Friday After Next. It's such a fun movie. All of these movies are great. I'm really partial to part 2. And part 1 is obviously the classic. All 3 of them are worth watching, especially if you want to be in the Christmas mood. Check out Ice-T, Mike Epps, Terry Crews, Cat Williams, Clifton Powell as Pinky. He came back to play Pinky in the second one. Friday After Next, dope movie. I absolutely love it. And another lighthearted, starring Nicolas Cage and Jeremy Piven, Family Man from 2000. Super fun movie. It's really lighthearted and just, I don't know, a lot of fun. I really love this movie, but I'm also a Nicolas Cage fanboy. And I like Jeremy Piven from PCU, obviously. That's where everybody knows him from. Alright, the last 2. I want to make it clear, this is just some of the movies I pulled out of my collection. This is not all of the Christmas movies I own, and I know that I missed a lot, and it's no disrespect to any of those movies or the filmmakers that made them. I just picked a handful of them because I didn't want to sit down and just do a review for Christmas. I wanted to do something a little different. These are 2 of my favorites. I'll save my favorite for last, but I also want to be clear, that's not selling any of the movies I talked about short, because I love all of them. This one is an artsploitation movie from Norway that came out in 2017. Christmas Blood. Naughty or nice, you're dead. This movie is so fucking good. It has great atmosphere. The Killer Santa looks awesome. The story, everything is really great. It's a Norwegian movie. Artsploitation put it out. So a lot of the dialogue is Norwegian with English subtitles. There is some English dialogue in it. It kind of goes back and forth a little bit, which is strange, but it kind of works because it's about these girls that meet up and they're celebrating the holidays together when the psychotic Santa Claus that they're hunting throughout the movie returns. That sounds silly, but this movie has a very serious tone to it. It's like almost like Seven, maybe, but Christmassy in Norwegian. Definitely recommend this movie. It's got some really cool scenes in it, and I just absolutely love it. And I don't think it gets talked about nearly enough. Now, last but definitely not least, this movie I love. Always have, especially more so when I was still drinking. I've been sober for a few years now, but I don't care. I still love it. Bad Santa. I should probably just show them. I love this movie. Starring Billy Bob Thornton, the late Bernie Mac, and John Ritter, R.I.P. 2 legends gone too soon. Also stars Tony Cox as Santa's little helper elf. If you're not familiar with this movie, Billy Bob Thornton plays a complete degenerate, drunken, perverted mall Santa / robber. They get jobs at different malls every year. Billy Bob Thornton and Tony Cox, that is. And they do their job as a mall Santa, and then the last day of the holiday, right before Christmas, they rob the mall. Billy Bob Thornton plays the guy who cracks the safe. Tony Cox plays kind of the mastermind behind the whole operation. Super fun movie. I absolutely love it. This is not a very PC movie. I don't think they would be able to make it, at least not word for word in the way they made it today. But like I said, this movie is 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely love it. So like I said, that's just a list of some of the movies that I have in my physical collection. Not even all of them that I wanted to pull out and talk about. And it's not even all of the Christmas movies I like. There's a lot that are streaming, a lot that I just don't own. Like I don't own Jack Frost for some reason, which is super unfortunate. But I don't know, that's a list of some of the movies I have I love, Christmas related. Why don't you hit me up, tell me what movies you like to watch, if you like any of these or if you hate any of them, just let me know in the comments. But that's it for now. Once again, happy holidays. Hope everybody stays safe. Hope everybody has a great holiday. Spend time with family. Do the things that make you and your loved ones happy. Until next time, queso out. Peace. Psych! You didn't think that I was going to do a Cinema Cheeze Christmas special and not talk about 1988's Christmas classic starring Jim Varney as Ernest P. Worrell, Ernest Saves Christmas. This movie is a classic. It's, if you're familiar with Jim Varney and the Ernest character and all of that, you know exactly how this movie is. I'm sure most of you have probably seen it. It's kind of stupid, but it's Ernest stupid, you know, so it's still fun. It's still funny. Jim Varney was just one of a kind, you know what I mean? There'll never be another Ernest. There'll never be another Jim Varney. There'll be similar characters, but it won't ever be the same. And that's okay. But we still have his movies. He still lives on through his art, and we can still enjoy it, as we should, especially this time of year. I do love Christmas. Halloween is my favorite holiday, but I love the feeling of Christmas. I love the selflessness and just being around family and friends and loved ones and celebrating and giving instead of taking. People take all year round. And this time of year, it's nice to give a little bit. So give yourself a treat. If you haven't seen it, go check out Ernest Saves Christmas. And everybody have a wonderful, safe holiday. From everybody here at Cinema Cheeze, to all of you people at home, stay safe, keep watching cheesy cinema. Most importantly, keep watching Cinema Cheeze. And even more important than that, keep watching Ernest P. Worrell movies. You won't regret it. You know what I mean? Okay, so out. Peace.